So for the next step in creating the foot or any type of a foot for anything, there's a pretty simple way that you can do it using our basic tools that we always have out. First, you got to roll your slab using the dowel rods, okay, which you all have done. And then the next thing you're going to use is a ruler or some type of a straight edge. And there's plenty of rulers over in the tool supplies, and you also need your needle tool or a needle tool. And then what you're going to do is the foot of your mug doesn't matter how wide or how tall you make it. If you want your mug to be taller, you can make it wider, okay? If you don't want your mug to be super tall, you can make a more narrow foot. So the size of your foot is up to you. However, if you make it wider or a taller foot, you have to stuff it with newspaper, which I'll show you, so that it doesn't collapse it, because the weight of your pinch pot is going to be a lot heavier than the foot we're adding onto it. So once we add the foot on, we store this project like this so that the foot is always up, so it doesn't smush and trunk out on us, okay? And I'll show you that once we get to that part. But so for this part, to create your foot, you have your long, narrow slab rolled, and you're just gonna lay your ruler or straight edge on there, and then use a needle tool and cut right along the edge of it, okay? When you're using your needle tool, remember, you do not need to press hard, because if you do, you're gonna break the tip of the needle tool off the tool. And you don't need to press hard to make it go through there. If I don't want my foot to be the width of the ruler, it's fine, it doesn't have to be. I can just move it over as far as I want, but I want it to be an even thickness, because if I don't make sure that it's even, it's going to, what's gonna happen to it when I try to stand my mug up? Will it stand straight? No, it's gonna tip. So I wanna make sure that I have this the same width throughout. So I'm just gonna make 2 little marks I measured over, and then I can line up my ruler on those marks, okay? And then I'm gonna use my needle tool and just cut right along that straight edge again. And I know that I cut the section kind of out of the middle of my whole slab, but I wanted the longest piece to make sure that it goes all the way around the bottom of your pinch pot, okay? So then you can, once you have it cut both sides, you can move your dowel rods to the side, and then we don't need the outside pieces for this part. You can keep those because you can use those for the other pieces for your project since you already have it wedged. But then you're gonna pick up this part you used for the foot, and this is when you need your spray bottle, because whenever we cut something on these edges, if we don't smooth them, they're gonna be kind of sharp when it's finished. So if you just take the spray bottle and mist your slab that you just cut, and then just take your fingers and smooth them down along the edges, you can see it takes, just that smoothing takes all those little sharp edges off. You just have to make sure that you get all those little pieces off of there, okay? And then what I do next is just take the water bottle again and mist this and smooth this out. And you can just do it with your finger, but that just helps to make sure that there's none of those cracks from stretching it all along there. You don't have to wipe your hands on your clothes. I just have an apron on, so it doesn't really matter. And then once I have this, I have the right thickness cut out now for the foot, okay? Remember, yours does not have to be this thickness. Yours can be wider. If you want your mug to be taller, you can just make this wider. It doesn't have to be as skinny, okay? Anybody have any questions about how you cut the foot before we move on? Everybody good? Okay.